It was horrible.
Are you throwing? Are you still throwing? Oh God, he's still throwing. Just start the podcast. Get the headphone. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, we'll
Welcome
talk
back to
about
the
that later.
podcast. It's your boy K Sloan here with my dog
J.Jones.
J.Jones, and we got, you know what I'm saying, the fantabulous duo, man, the killers. Ugh, we grimy
We back.
today. Back at it, Nate. What you got for the people, bro?
Ah man, y'all stay warm out there, bro. It's been real. We've been out here living in this tundra, so I hope everybody is good, man. That's
Real
it.
talk. Real talk. And then Mr. Lifton go. What you got for the people?
Well, it's Black History Month, and Texas is making history with all this black ice. But hey, we fuck black men on the podcast, we doing it too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mr. Liffengo been making history too. He out there preventing bad pocket situations, even in the snow, man.
Hey,
Respect respect that.
Yeah,
straight
I'm
up.
just let people get back on their feet. That's all.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro, because like I was telling I don't know who I was telling one of y'all about like the situation with my mom and like her heat going out, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm calling in checking on her because I'm 9 hours away. She at the crib by herself. I'm concerned, like, man, you got heat, you got water, you know, can you go pick up food? You need to be cooking early. Like she's like, what the electric on now? I'm like, you need to go get some food ready. Like you need to start cooking because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's been stressful for me, bro.
Talking about meal prepping. No, for real. This is where you need it. Cook
Yeah.
something, put it in the refrigerator, and have it. You need it because you never know what's gonna happen these days around Texas, around our parts of Texas. You know, El Paso, y'all good around there, but DFW, Houston, and going
Hey,
through.
we talked about life planning before, right? That's just another example of it. Go out and take it, take a full assessment of the situation. It's gonna be my thing. That's how I'm gonna say it. Cause I got lucky, honestly. I went, man, truth be told, I went to the store on Friday because Valentine's Day was coming up and my girl's birthday was coming up. So I was planning to cook, right? That was the only reason I really in my mind was going to the store. Then I happened to think like, they're saying it's gonna be pretty bad. Let me go ahead and make full groceries, right? So just kind of always think, man, what is the quote? Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best, right? So
Mhm.
just another situation, another eye opener. You never know. Invest in a generator. That's something, that's
Yeah,
definitely a good life plan.
That's
yeah.
good for not just cold times. It's good for fun
Yeah,
times, parties. I mean, you can always use a generator.
always, always.
We gotta stay ready with whatever anyway, because the situation at hand, man, is kind of like really just the last 2 years we've now seen polar opposites in regards to just things that are coming up, man. Like you successes and failures, like this, bro. It's like I don't think anything can't happen. Like I'm at this
Right.
point now where I'm prepared for whatever. Like is whatever. Like when I heard about the 100 car pile up out there in Fort Worth or the DFW that
Yeah,
area,
it's for work. Yeah.
yeah, on I-35, bro. I was like, wow. Like I was like another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
right
I,
now,
I missed that accident by about 15, 20 minutes. I was on 35.
And
you was snapping on 35 too.
Hey, hey, hold on.
He
Hold
was
on.
he was that, bro. I'm looking at DeMarcus' story, and I'm like, he riding by like just phone out the window. I'm like, bro, put your phone away, bro. I'm like, it's a black ice out there, but you know he don't care. He gonna record anything. Shout out,
Mr. Lift and go.
shout out to Mr. Lipton go. You know that's.
Look at his face.
Hey, you need to be safe, bro.
The people don't know.
OG.
The people don't know what happened before the recording. Like he done threw me on the bus like 3 times in the last 30 minutes. I just don't appreciate it. He got his shoulders out. Everybody cold, but whatever.
Hey, man, it is what it is. You know how I get down on the podcast. You know how I go. You know how I go. But J. Jones, what you got for us, bro? How you living?
Well, first, you supposed to have a video for me.
Oh
So,
yeah. All
are
right.
you gonna do that, or do I need to keep it moving?
Say less. Say less.
Say less. But yeah,
So this is my daughter right here. This is my daughter right here. So check it out.
Let me tell you what I learned about Sojourner Truth, Black History Leader. So her real name was Elizabeth, but she changed it to the Sojourner Truth because it meant something special. Another thing is the people who didn't stand for civil rights took her son, made him a slave, and sold him to someone in New York from a boat. But she didn't hear from him when he was on the boat. Since he was on the boat.
Okay. And what does she stand for?
She stands for civil rights, and she stands for the rights of women.
Okay, so she's basically a leader, right?
Yes.
A hero to many?
Huh?
She's a hero to many?
Yes.
All right. So the reason why I shared that is because I thought it was super cool that that they teaching Black history. You know what I'm saying? Like they really are teaching, because she knew nothing about Sojourner Truth going into school today. And she came out, she came to my, because I take her to work every day with me after I get off, and she kind of chills with me in the classroom. And then she was just like, yeah, Dad, I learned about Sojourner Truth today. Like I learned a little bit about her, and we talking about Black history. And I was like, man, I'm glad that she's retaining that information and getting it early. And I know a lot of times the public school system catch a lot of heat about Black History Month from us, for sure, because we don't, we still don't get enough of it taught in our education system. I mean, to be frank, but I think that was like a silver lining for me. It was like, man, like there's hope for my daughter to be able to kind of know where she comes from and know her history, so she knows where she's going. I just kind of wanted to hear y'all's thoughts on that, man. What y'all thinking about, that type of stuff in the education system with the Black History Month?
Totally agree with you, man. It's definitely a good thing. It's a honestly, look, show you how important it is. I know who Sojourner Truth is, but her even dropping the info about the sun, I ain't know that. Like, it's a lot of stuff that we just don't know. So anything that you're learning about the history, anything that you're learning about us as Black people, culture wise, where we came from, what we've done, anything is gonna always be a positive.
100. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts on it?
man. I remember in school we learned. I mean, probably for maybe I could say 5 days out of February, we talked really about Black history that we didn't know. You know, it was
Mhm.
basically the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, the Rosa. I mean, we knew that. So it's like you teaching us. That's like teaching me addition in the 10th grade. You know, I know that. so, so basically, I'm glad that they are teaching. Kind of outside the box of the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, because that's basically all. I remember I think the first day out of Black History Month, we started talking about Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King, the white Martin Luther. And I'm thinking, I'm like, it's March and we still going? Nah. Martin
Y'all done with
Luther. No, the other Martin Luther. We're talking about the white man. So now it's good to hear a kid know something outside of the famous people, I should say. Even though she's pretty famous, but she's not one of the people we talk about every day.
Gotta have that branch off, man. You can't keep doing the same recycled topics, right? Like
Right.
it's so much more to Black history than the civil rights movement. Like that's really what we focus on. We focus on a
Man,
few maybe characters from slavery, things like that. And then it's the civil rights movement. And I'm sure now it's like Barack Obama. Like, cool.
it.
And that's, it's like, okay, you went from bad to Obama's the president, but it's a lot of other stuff that goes on, man. It's a lot more history than that.
we had a coach, actually our head coach. I don't think he was doing it when Cheryl got to high school, but our head coach for Black History Month for like I want to say for like 2 weeks. Every day he had us in little groups, and we had to teach him about something in Black history that he didn't know. And it was kind of cool because we learned a lot of stuff on our own, like that we like. I'm pretty sure y'all know, but if y'all don't know, a lot of inventions, a lot of things that have been created and published, Black people created or came up with the idea, but they didn't have the right to go trademark it or to go get it notarized and stuff like that. So this guy, like Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's got figured out about a black guy, but he couldn't put his name on it because he's a slave. So went to notoriety goes to somebody else. So uh, I was teaching our kids about all these name brands are called a name brand for a reason because that name goes to somebody and you pay for the brand, but the money don't go to the brand, it goes to that family name. And when you go looking up all these names, you'd be surprised. None of these people know what they look like. People don't know who Gucci is. People don't know who Louis Vuitton is. Like, oh, he can walk right by, you wouldn't know who he is. But his pocketbook know who you are,
Especially.
But to go back to Black History, I just sent y'all a link. Like, we ordered a book called Black History 365 because it has so much history in there that, come on, like the charge is, I take accountability for it, especially being a parent. The charge is really on us. Can't send them to school and be like, oh, go learn about us. Because if they come in and teach you, that means you don't know about us either. So the charge, I say, is really on us to really give them the correct information. Because if you talk about slavery, slavery, oh, they whipped them, you was bad, and then we came out of it, whooped the dude the other day, and then it was like it's a praise song. Like Nate said, there's a whole lot of stuff in the middle of that they didn't teach us.
Mm.
I learned more about Black history outside of school than I did inside school. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, I've learned more on Twitter than I have through school, through public school, through college, everything. Just from people going to do the research and digging for themselves. And honestly, I mean, we live in the information age, but I think the real thing is we never know what's truly true, what's truly accurate. It's just good to think on a different wavelength on it. Like, okay, I've never seen this information before. Is it true or is it not? Right? Just keep looking because you never really know.
It makes you go research. I had a
Hmm.
Gerald know, I'm not gonna put his name out there. We had a pastor. He taught me a man. I keep this to my core. I keep a lot of stuff to my core, but he used to always say at the end of every sermon, he used to say, "Don't just listen to me. Go read it for yourself." And man, I love that he used to place that in our brains because people go and listen to what other people are saying, but don't go do like Nate just said, don't go do the hard research or go figure it out for yourself because you can take a word out, you can put a word in, you can
Hmm.
move it to the end of the sentence and change the whole meaning of it. So yeah, the charge is on us to get the information and to make sure the information is correct.
Yeah. Because that his story ain't always my story. So,
Mhm.
gotta
That
always
part.
kind of do that research on our own, self-educate. And they said that education back in the day made a man unfit to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like once he found out he was illiterate, then that's when them chains started to fall off, and we got him on our bodies, figuratively more so than physically, and like it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we don't even, like DeMarcus said, the money that we're spending. I did see a stat that said 97% of African American and Black people money is spent with, what I'm saying, white people. Like, I mean, this is the reality of it. Like, we don't spend none of our money with our own people. Like that, they could call that whatever you want to call that, but that's just the reality. That's stats. You know what I'm saying? How
The
you
black
supposed to
dollar don't
create
stay in
wealth?
the community, man.
Yeah, that's why we don't have no CEOs. We have no major CEOs because of stuff like that. We don't spend our money with our own people. And also the other side of that is we can't make it hard to spend money with our own people. Like if you got a business, don't make it hard for me to buy your product because of your unprofessionalism or your unpreparedness, your lack of following up with me to see how I'm doing. Don't carry yourself like you a Gucci or a Prada or in that nature. And we just gotta kind of continue to educate each other. Like, and while we educate ourselves, and we've talked about that before, this self-education is it goes across a lot of different areas when we talk about things that we all need to know, especially when it comes to our history, business, financial literacy, like the stuff that really, really matters. They don't teach us in school. They're not going to,
Nah.
they're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be doctrinated. Like, why would they do that? Then they going to switch the whole,
That goes against the business model, man.
yeah.
School ain't there for you to really learn enough. It's there for you to pay, honestly, bro. It's there for us to keep giving you the same cycle. So You know,
I'll make you a great worker.
Make you a great worker. But you know, I think that's why I'm always thankful, man. I'm always thankful I get to be able to be in the education system because I feel like I can kind of constantly push, some real thought into some of these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they get caught up in that grades world. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got an A in Mr. Sloan's class. Okay, that's cool. But you're gonna have to teach me a little something too. Like DeMarcus said, you got to tell me something about something that I'm gonna ask you off the record. And it might stump you a little bit because you don't even know that world's existing out there because your mama don't know. But I'm gonna talk it to you though. I'm gonna talk it to you just so you kind of had that awareness. So that's why I love being able to impress these kids, bro. But
oh yeah, we live in a world of parallels, man. Like
yeah,
we just do, man. And information will take you from this world to that world, just taking one step. Like we live in a world of parallels. Like there's a lot of knowledge out there that is so common for some people and it's so uncommon for others.
that's real estate. That's real estate. Like I feel like real estate, yeah, Nate. That's like the words that they use when they talk to each other. If you don't know real estate, bro, you swear they speak Chinese. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what's being said. If you was sitting in the room, you'd be just sitting there just like this, not knowing what's going on. And that's why I love Clubhouse, bro. That's why I love Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse right now.
Tell them about it, Kerry.
Hey, Club, I'm promoting it right now on the podcast, bro. Clubhouse is like networking on steroids, bro. We ain't never had nothing like this, bro. Like I'm sitting in a room with millionaires and they chopping it up about, you know what I'm saying, like the hottest deals that, they trying to get going. They bringing people in, they putting them on the hot seat. They trying to poke holes in their business strategy and you just listening to it and you just gaining all this information. And you can literally, bro, gain I feel like you can gain years of information in 3 hours. Like real talk, because there's so many people that get up on the stage because you got your moderators and you got your people that's kind of just listening, and then you got the people that's on stage and they just kind of talking game, like they just speaking game. It's like they talking to one another, and you just ear hustle. And it's like, bro, like I was like, dog, this is gonna be game changer for like closing that gap. You know what I'm saying? Like that gap of information where people were keeping stuff from certain people, that classism we've talked about before. Like that's gonna close that. Like you're gonna have to lock some of these rooms off. Like, cause if you let me just in here, I'm gonna chill. Like, I'm gonna sit back, get my Doritos. I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm about to listen to Artist Money talk, so I can go ahead and soak up that game. Cause that's the game changer, bro. Knowledge, like the information is king out here. So
I do a lot of reading, but I actually need to get back to reading like I used to. But if y'all ever read 48 Laws of Power, and I know 50 made the 50th Law of Power, but one of those is every man wants to teach a man. So don't get away with a man teaching. Like every man wants to teach a man. So just like Kerry said, like he can sit in a room and if a man has information or knowledge, like if you let him, he'll teach you or he'll show it to you. You got to put him in a position where he feels comfortable teaching you. Every man wants to teach a man. If I have a knowledge and I want to see you succeed, I will teach you. You just got to be coachable.
That's a word. It's a football word if it's not a word.
And you know what I really love about it too, just in this one more thing, J.Jones, I let us kind of switch gears, but
we good.
Bro, I love that everybody can't talk. Like on Clubhouse, Nate, listen, well, you know how sometimes you be talking to like a group of people and y'all be chopping it up and somebody jump in and just interrupt the whole vibration, like in a conversation, like y'all was going somewhere, you listening, is like somebody jump in trying to like, I know more. Like it's like you can't do that on Clubhouse, bro. Like you got too many moderators, they'll cut you off. So you can really listen. Like it's like, okay, like this man just kind of like chopping it up with us, and then it's like, okay, I'm done speaking. And then somebody will jump in. I'm like, oh yeah, this right here is a Clubhouse.
That's what you
going
need,
up.
man. I think that is a really good thing because, man, like comparing that to something like Twitter, you get such a crazy stream of opinions on there. Like, you can start. I've seen people start with literally like factual, solid information that just turns into somebody tripping about their opinions on things. And it's like, that's definitely a plus.
Bro. Yeah, we getting on Clubhouse too.
Yeah, he told me today I need to get on it.
We expand it.
I'm gonna download that now.
Yeah, go ahead and get that.
You teach me all kinds of stuff back in the day. I've been on Clubhouse.
Say it again. Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, I said they've been teaching me. I've been on Clubhouse. Y'all late, but go ahead.
We need to get a timeout box for him.
Clubhouse, huh?
If any of our
Can we-
wonderful sponsors, future sponsors out there want to sponsor us a timeout penalty box, we're going to use it for DeMarcus, and we'll put your logo right over square. So if you want
Right
some
over his square.
advertising, please contact us for the penalty box.
Please do, because he.
Hey, but no, another thing, since we're talking about giving people game, I keep hearing people say they want to start businesses and nonprofits, and they think it's, which it is a lot of paperwork, but we were talking about like the short way to do things. Some people might say the lazy way. I don't know how you want to say it, but y'all both actually we all kind of use LegalZoom to start some stuff, and people been asking me about like how do they do it. So since y'all kind of recently did it, I want to speak about
LegalZoom,
how easy
LegalZoom
it
is
is.
most popular.
Huh?
LegalZoom is most popular. They got plenty of websites that do
Right.
it. LegalZoom is probably the most credible that I have came across and the most popular, where they will literally, I mean, their name says it all. They will literally do all the legal paperwork for you from start to finish. They're going to ask you what you want to name your business, what category you want to put it in, whether it's sole proprietorship. I love that one. All the way up to a corporation. Like they can connect you with attorneys. They'll help you get your EIN number. They'll in Texas you have to have a registered agent, which is somebody who handles all your legal mail. LegalZoom will literally step by step. It's pretty elaborate as how it defines each step and which way you want to go to each step. Is some reading, but it is the shortcut way. But they will teach you every step of how to create a business legally and to forming it with the Secretary of the State. I believe they have done already. They'll help you with nonprofits too. So
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
Everything you said is A1 on that. That's the process I went through doing the nonprofit. So it's I wouldn't even call it the easy way. I mean, it is very easy, but it's something that you have to do. It's being responsible. I'd say that was the main reason I did it, just to make sure I did everything the right way. It's something I hadn't done before. So I would suggest it. So again, LegalZoom, our new corporate partner, I think is a very, very, good platform to use. But I looked at a couple of different like law firms, different lawyers that would help you with it, kind of do some things like that. And honestly, the price for LegalZoom was a lot better. So I've seen some that were a little bit cheaper than LegalZoom, but then comparing what you got and like you said, kind of the most well-known, it was pretty reputable. So I went ahead with LegalZoom and good process. I think everything was taken care of in 2 months for sure. Just going through processes, getting paperwork here, waiting for something to be cleared. So everything was a pretty easy process on that.
and if you want it to be expeditious, you can pay the money and be expeditious with it.
Straight
And
up.
they can get it done in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
you can get it done so actually I'm glad you said that. It grand scheme of things, it did take a little bit longer, but that is the option I went with, like the second most expedited option. So it came pretty quick. They had one for it's like you needed to be doing work tomorrow and you ain't never filed no paperwork. So if you want to pay for that, you can get your stuff done, but it's a good platform, man.
It's a great tool for the ignorant because like Kerry said, a lot of people be like, man, how'd you start your business? What was the first step? Well, LegalZoom will take you from that first step. Like literally, the first thing it says, what do you want to name your business? We're going to check in your county and your state to see if that name is available. And then they go to the next point, you get your email. I mean, it literally takes you step to step. So for the person that wants to ask you all the questions, like how'd you get your business started? How'd you get from A to B? The point of advertising your business and get your business running and making it profitable, that's really on you. But the point of establishing a business in a legal sense and, your tax, your EIN and everything, getting all that ready, it literally will walk you all the way to that part.
So all you need is $600.
800 now.
It was
It
yeah, it was
depends on
like
what
9
category.
something.
Yeah, it
Like I
depends on
said,
what
Yeah,
category.
so
different
yeah, it could
categories.
be different.
Okay. Depending on
Nonprofit
what
was
you
like
file it
nine
as. Depending on how you
fifty
file.
something like that. Yeah.
Because they offer, I mean, they offer CPAs online. They offer lawyer assistance. They got free lawyer assistance for like 15 minutes, but you know, by that time you didn't ask so many questions, you went over your time. So I mean, they have
Mhm.
everything at the stroke of a button, uh, and you can do it on your own. I will say you can do it on your own. You can go find a registered agent. You can go to the website, get your registered agent, get your EIN number. You can establish your business with the Secretary of State, and you can save yourself like $400. Like an
Couple of
EIN
$100.
number is literally free.
Yeah. Most of the paperwork is free. Like I don't think there's really anything you have to pay if you're doing it on your own. But it's kind of that peace of mind thing, right?
Yeah.
Of
And they offer peace of
you've
mind.
never done it before. You want to make sure you're doing all of this correctly. I think that was the main reason that I went through with it. I honestly spent about a week or so looking up the different forms that I needed. Probably still have a copy of them all downloaded and some filled out. And I said, you know what? Just to be sure, right? We always hear it takes money to make money, right? So let me invest a little bit in making sure everything gets started up the right way, we get rolling properly, and then you can move on. Just so you don't, because the real thing, like with the nonprofit, the main thing I was looking at was there's a way that, which I still don't fully understand it, but there's some way that you could have done your paperwork wrong and not made myself the right kind of owner or something, and somebody come take what I got. Honestly, somebody could eventually vote me off of my own board or something. So now I have that set up to where this is lifetime. So this is mine. This is nothing you can take from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that company veil. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that corporate veil. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have that, you like Nate said, like if you build up and you got a team of boards and they vote you out, you can literally get voted out your own company.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
but that's the legal part of it. And then you can ask questions and everything too. Like it's very descriptive each step, but it's very helpful and very knowledgeable to help you if you're serious about starting a business and you know on a legal platform. Is very helpful to get you from A to B and
And,
C.
and then y'all let the people know because you know J.Jones, you and Marcus, y'all in business together, as brothers, and then Nate, you got your up and is it up
Prosperous people.
prosperous people? Sorry, proper prosperous
Yeah.
people. So just I guess Nate, you talk about what prosperous people is doing, what you plan on doing with that, with the business model, and then I'll let y'all kind of address to the people what y'all got going. You know, so everybody knows we really are talking about businesses that are you know, we invested in this. You know what I'm saying? Like we are trying to get this going. So
So our first thing right now is community outreach. That's our number one goal. So our focus is mental health, you know, as a back step to that. But just kind of seeing some of the things that are going on right now. We draw some of our inspiration from some of the things I've seen Sherelle doing with the Fearless Foundation as well. Just need to be a pillar in the community more than anything, right? So we just had all of this going on with the storm, people not having water. So we just want to be another outlet to get people connected with the resources that they have in situations like that. But primarily when we're not in troubled times, we're not having natural disasters and things. Our focus is providing access to mental health for, you know, honestly, it's for the Black community, it's for minority and underserved communities, but it's for everybody, right? So it's never a thing of, you know, we want to leave anybody out, but just coming from the Black community, it's important for us, right? So that's definitely our main focus is the educational aspect of mental health. So just getting that kind of awareness out there for parents. Maybe you have a younger child who's dealing with something. Maybe you yourself are dealing with something that you're not really sure. So just kind of getting you to understand the different things that you may be faced with, showing that kind of educational side, but also then branching into ideally, we're probably a year or so away from this, but our ultimate goal is to offer pro bono counseling. So we just want to be available for people to come in, have a safe space. Long term is going to be opening a community center as a part of that space, that safe space. So for kids, for adults, anything, come in, talk to somebody. One of the things you know we're going to talk about is having healthy outlets. So we're trying to be that kind of healthy outlet for the community.
That's dope.
And
That's dope.
back during what Nate is saying, a lot of people, our people, we don't even go. We have a mental health. We're not even diagnosed. You know, we don't go to the doctor. We don't go get. Some people may be bipolar and don't know it. Some people have mental health issues, but they never get checked out. They never go to a counselor. They never, you know. So we go through living life like feeling like something wrong. I feel depressed. I feel this. But you never know that you have major depressive disorder. You know. So having some people that can talk to, a counselor that can help them get to the right doctor, the right, somebody to diagnose and get the right medicine and everything, it can help out a lot. So
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be working with Nate a little bit with that too. So
And, and,
that's definitely another part of it too. Is when you talk about the diagnosis, man, it's such a long-standing thing in the Black community. You don't trust doctors, right?
right, yeah,
What I have to reference the Tuskegee experiment, whatever else, we want to pull up from history, things again, Black history that we don't always know about, right? But some of us are aware of that, and that kind of does lead into the hesitancy, I would say, of one in trusting a doctor. So just kind of bringing a comfortable situation where people feel open about talking about those things and where we know we're actually getting the care that we need.
mhm,
right. And I just want to add to that, because you're talking about the talking to somebody. Talk therapy does not include medication. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean you have to
Mhm.
just get pumped with drugs. I think that's something that people think. If I say something that sounds crazy, they finna, give me all this Valium or whatever. It's like, no, it's not. That's not therapy. Therapy is actually, you don't even have to have anything wrong with you. I mean, I think that well-rounded individuals look into therapy. It just maybe just get a therapist just to get one to get your
mhm.
head kind of leveled out, because we all need somebody to talk to sometimes. I mean, it's anybody that say they don't, they a liar. Like you just kind of living in la la land because um I think it's hard to see your own problems. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like you'll live with these broken paradigms for years and years that you built when you was a child. And then here he go again, dropping these messages in the chat
Mhm.
box. But hey, hold up.
It
We
was
also
actually
suffer
something
from
good.
multiple trauma. But you know what though? He right. We do suffer from multiple trauma compounded into one person. That's true. Because we pass it down. And I and I,
uh,
I think about that so
generational.
much. Generational. It's like you passing down all this, abuse that you was dealing with as a child. Like you giving it to your baby and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that you just, and they say that's like with slavery too, like with how we beat our kids.
Exactly.
They say we beat our
Hmm.
kids because we was beat like that. That's why it's so common to see your kids get beat down in the Black community, because we was used to getting smacked around 100 years ago. So that generation is like, we got to break that and kind of create the ability to talk to our kids. Like we can't just blow up on them and put our hands on them. So I think, therapy is I love therapy. Like I had a therapist actually up until about 2 or 3 months ago. She ditched me because she got a new job and I got upset, so I left it alone. I'm gonna keep it real. I got mad. I was like, bro, I don't want nobody else. So, but now that we're talking about it, I'm probably gonna end up getting one here soon. Cause I mean, you just on your cue, bro. Like once you get a therapist, you talking to somebody, you say something crazy there, or you say something that's a little off, and they be like, that sounds like they hit a pressure point. Like, tell me about that, and then you can.
Mhm.
What do you mean? And then now y'all kind of had that unfolding situation play itself out, and then you can unpack some of that stuff, man. We don't walk around with all that stress on us, man. We need to be able to be free of all that extra trauma. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we got it. I mean, that's life we live. You know.
And then
Seriously, man.
DeMarcus on the other side of the business. Uh, what you looking at, DeMarcus? We talk about Mr. Lift and Go and Express. This is Mr. Lift and Go, by the way,
It's the lift and go.
the one and only, the
Oh,
one and only.
we are Mr. Lifford Express.
I know, but you are
45 seconds pitch. What you got?
Okay, 45 seconds. We are going to create an entity to where we can take logistics and use it as an umbrella system to create opportunities to multiple levels. We want to create opportunities in logistics as far as jobs, uh, moving product, service, and whatnot, and fuel that to funnel that into other things as far as education, charity, and entertainment. Like entertainment is a part of life too, but We also want to lift up education and charity so that we can get some of these things in life that we actually are missing. But we want to start it with the umbrella of Mr. Lift to Go Express, which is a logistics company that who knows how big we'll be. We don't want to cap ourselves in any type of way. So that's my 45 seconds. I think that's 45 seconds.
You know, I love that though, because bro, I feel like DeMarcus, and I've kind of been talking to Jarrell about this, and I know how many businesses have you started? Just just on some low key. How many businesses have you started? Like over your time of living?
It's just two.
Just two.
Uh-huh.
I just feel like it seems like you kind of more so in action.
I've been a part of. I'm unofficially a part of Fearless Foundation. I'm unofficially a part of. I hope you won't mind me saying this. Tony's Tees, which is I have a friend that does embroidering and he makes hats and shirts, and you'd be surprised how big that business has got. Like I've been underhandedly a part of a couple things, so probably a part of 4 or 5, and actually credit too.
See, I love that, bro, because you about action. You know what I'm saying? Every time DeMarcus get on here, everything he talks about is usually tailored towards action, like just kind of taking the act. And I feel like that's something that, with the thinkers, I always pick on myself, but like myself, I kind of be thinking through a lot of stuff sometimes, and I think myself out of stuff. So I always kind of it's refreshing to be around actors, people that take action and just go and just do things, you know what I'm saying? And then you figure it out as you go, because like you talked about before, that fear of, thinking and getting lost in your thoughts, it'll end up keeping you in the same spot. So, man, I believe in what y'all got going with these business models, and, hey, more to come now, brothers.
More to come.
A little saying that we use, but I'll put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Yeah, absolutely.
True, man. Gotta get to the action, bro. Action.
Not that action, boss. As Marshawn Lynch said. About that action, boss.
I'm glad you mentioned Marshawn. That's been my favorite quote lately from him. It's not just about the action, but what he said, kind of talking about your whole overall being, right? When he had that video when he was about to retire again, after he had already retired, take care of your mental, take care of your body, take care of your chicken, man. All right?
Take care of your chicken? Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm. Take care of that bread. That's your chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta catch the chicken, right? So
gotta catch it. 100.
For real. But yeah, Mr. Lift and Go Express. We come look. I've been looking at trucks all day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Once we get that box truck,
he charged me up today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't been asleep. I've been up since 5 o'clock, and Gerald won't let me go to sleep. So it's whatever.
I'm trying to get some stuff going, man. I probably looked at 12 trucks today, and like 5 I liked. So I sent it to my business partner. I didn't get a response for about 3 hours. I got a little aggravated. I called him. Hey, I said, forget sleep. We need to be working. I didn't know he was up since 5 o'clock. I didn't know that, but
he didn't care. He didn't care.
He didn't care
about that action. But let's go. What's going on?
All right. Well, next thing we're gonna talk about. The big dog. You got to quote your quote again, DeMarcus. Quote the Chris Rock. Shout out to Chris Rock. I don't know if it's his quote, but
Chris Rock got it for him. This is a quote. Let's get it right.
It's gone now, DeMarcus. The one on Instagram. It's gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's unavailable. Yeah, I went back and looked for it. It's gone. Yeah.
I
don't know where he pulled what kind of janky little account.
Unavailable.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. They deleted that whole account in like 24 hours.
Maybe Chris Rock didn't.
I'm gonna quote Chris Rock because I heard it from Chris Rock, but he said the only thing that's love unconditionally, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know exactly how I said it, but only things that are love unconditionally are women, children, and dogs. How y'all feel about that? It's like men have a condition that is to their love, like you provide, you protect, you are this, you are that, you've done this for me. And it's not, I don't believe it's 100% true, but especially after, Valentine's Day just passed and whatnot, but it does have some touching points to it, because like we were talking about before, it goes down for Mother's Day. And it's just down for Father's Day.
I think it's some truth to it because I think as a man, but I think you're supposed to bring a lot to the table. That's the thing. I think as a man, you are supposed to bring a lot to the table. But with the quote, I agree. I agree with it because okay, just think if your woman stay at home mom, I mean, which there's some stay at home dads, small percentage, I think. But if it's gonna be an option, it's probably gonna be a stay at home mom. You're gonna take care of the kids. You're gonna take care of the dog. But if you're just a man laying on the couch watching TV all day, kind of watching the kids, it's kind of like, what are you here for? I mean, I hate to say that, but that's what it is.
God made you all these muscles. You got this big, broad chest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got all this facial hair, all this testosterone. If you don't go get some work, I feel like cats that don't do nothing, bro, they kind of like irk me just because, like, I get it. Like, you could be a stay-at-home dad. Like, I'm a single dad right now. I got my daughter with me. I'm doing everything, bro. Like, I'm doing pretty much everything. I'm getting some support, but I do almost everything. So I get it. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I think number one, the man got to provide that security. Because if you're not providing security, right, like whether that be financial, whether that be physical, we feel safe with you, whether that be some type of presence, then yeah, like you're gonna get like dismissed. Like, what do we need you here for? Like, what are you here for? Like, I get it. If I was a child or the woman, I'd be like, bro, I can't wait to grow up, bro. Like, I can't wait because you ain't doing nothing. Like, you just here, bro. You inhabiting space, too much space. You out eating everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got the biggest appetite. It's like, bro, like,
but
you
look,
driving the car the most. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Carrie, what if you were doing something or you were taking care of everything and you lose your job and you're struggling right now? I'm just talking about unconditional love because we talking about unconditional love, right? That's like thick, thin, whatever. So you are taking care of stuff. You making 60,000 a year, 70,000. You coming home, bringing the bacon home, kicking the dough in, dirty's home.
Yeah.
All cooked. And then something goes down, you lose your job, and it takes you 6 months, 5 months, or whatever, some time to get a job. And everybody looking at you like, you trying. I'm not saying you're not. You are trying, but you can't at the time. Does that unconditional love stay the same?
I got a metaphor real quick though. I'll let you get it. I got a metaphor because Inky Johnson said it on he was on Twitter, I think. He was talking about he wants his kids to see the relationship like in chess from the king and the queen, right? So the king is the most important piece in the chessboard, right? Because once the king done, the game over. But when the queen come into play, the queen can make every single move. She can go back, she can go forward, she can go diagonal, she can go wherever she want to go. So in a situation like you're talking about, this is very similar. The king becomes a sitting duck. The king can only move one piece at a time. You know what I mean? Like the whole game is relying on him, but he needs that queen for that protection because she gonna knock out all of that, that stuff that could come and take out the game for the whole, for the whole team. So I think about that like you have to have a strong woman, and it's important, especially like for even our mental health, bro. Like we do a lot, but we do need that support from the woman as far as the unconditional support. We need to know that she's there for us. Like we didn't know we can take those risks. We can go and be without a job for 6 months, and we can kind of have somebody that be like, hey, it's gonna be all good. Kind of put us on jobs, show us where to apply. You know what I'm saying? Link us up with some people. Maybe that's what women do for us, and I think we provide that security in return. And do we always get unconditional love? I think if you don't provide any type of security, you may not deserve to always be getting all that love all the time. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go ahead and speak on that.
We're going to disagree on this one.
I'm about to die. Hold up. Oh, why?
I think unconditional love is unconditional. I mean, that's the whole point of unconditional love is unconditional. I will give you a metaphor just to kind of show you how I think.
Hear you right now, Carrie? Can you hear us?
Hold on, my computer about to die. I'm about to die.
Your computer about to die.
Run, kid. Hurry up.
You're a running back. Don't let it happen.
Man, I gotta go into the car real quick.
You gotta go.
Oh,
You
it's
gotta
cold
go.
out there.
Quick though.
Huh?
You good? Keep going.
He said he got to go to the car real quick.
But the metaphor is for you. If we keep going, you gonna miss the metaphor.
Oh no,
I'm with you,
man.
Marcus. It's tough though because as a man,
that's why I wanted to give him a minute. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying it's tough because I get what Carrie's saying. As a man, yeah, we the bread when we bring it, we supposed to. It's your job, you know, to come home. I mean, to take care of things. You're kind of like the mediator of the family, almost. Like,
What if you got a woman?
Unconditional love is so hard to say, bro. All love got a condition behind it. If you gotta be real, I'm gonna say it minus a parent's love.
Do
I'm
you
gonna say I think
love everybody forever that you began to love?
absolutely. It's people who lose access to your love off of conditions. It's people who you might still actually yourself love, care about, whatever, but you can't show that to that person anymore to protect yourself. I think it's a lot of conditions that go into it. From the man point of view on it, unconditional love, ask your mama for that, bro. Honestly, that's really my answer. Like my mama loved me unconditionally because she had me. I feel like that's a parent's job, but for most people, it's kind of relationship centered. Like, what is your relationship to each other? That's probably not a good way that love comes about, but that's I think where love comes from. It comes from one, of course, proximity, but you have to give yourself some kind of meaning to a person, right? But I don't know. What you gonna say, D?
Well, the analogy I was going to use was house. House. You have a big, beautiful house. Everybody's inside having a great time. You know, everybody feels protected, secure. Uh, I think that's the woman, that's the kids, that's the dog, that's the family. Leave the man, it's the foundation. Nobody sees the foundation. Nobody cares about the foundation. Nobody worried about the foundation. But if that foundation crack, the house fall, you know, now it's like, well, what's really going on? What happened? What's whatever? And I think that we're kind of viewed in that sense. I believe that we do need that unconditional love, that strong love. Like when you hear behind every strong man is a strong woman, I think that's can be some of that unconditional love, but I don't think it should be necessarily off of a certain condition because once that condition is like that slab, once that condition changes, does that mean your relationship change? Like what Gerald was saying, like say you make $70,000, $80,000 a year, you hold it down, you take care of everything, right? You lose your job or you lose your opportunity, you get hurt, whatever, your situation changed. Now you become a $30,000 man. That means the family got to get up and leave because you can't provide the life that they was living.
No, but that's still exactly why I say that it's conditional because putting both of those things together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Jarrell was saying, are you actually doing something, right? It's one thing to say, I lost my job. That's reality. Anybody can lose their job, right? A lot of people just lost their job with this COVID stuff, right? So that is reality. That's something that you have to kind of understand and know your love shouldn't be based on a monetary value. But on the other side of that, if you were the provider, you were, the beacon of hope, whatever you want to call it, where people felt safe, you lose that and you don't pick up anything else, then on what condition am I still giving you love? The hope that you're going to get back to being a provider, that, you were this one time, so maybe it'll come back around. But if you're not really doing anything to kind of pick up your gap, is what I would say, right? If you're not, like he was saying, you're not taking care of the kids, you're not taking care of the home. If you do turn into the stay-at-home husband, but you really just stay at home and you don't do anything at home,
Right.
on what condition am I loving you? Unconditionally, maybe because you make me laugh or something, you're a good person, but the reality of that, I think that kind of gets old at some point, right? It's cool to say you got people that you care about, but love is an action also. So to have somebody around, somebody that you taking care of, and you doing that kind of stuff unconditionally, to me is kind of a stretch. Honestly, I think there's always a condition combined with it.
And
So
I think to add to what you're saying, I think if you want to find out what the difference between loving somebody and being in love with somebody is, then that's when you lose your job and don't do nothing. Because then your girl gonna love you, but she ain't gonna be in love with you after so long. Because it's like this
mhm.
man has no intentions of getting us secure again. Like he knows that we are having to sell everything in the house. He knows that we can't put our kids in the same private school they was once in. Like it's okay, like that you down. Like everybody goes down. And I think when you talk about like a woman having to, I guess, carry the team for a while, that can happen. Like that is okay. And that shouldn't be predicated on the love part of it. But if you if you are saying like, like we're gonna do this thing, I love you, you love me, we are going to carry this unit right together, like we're mutually doing this thing, and then you all of a sudden just be like, all right, man, I'm tired, I can't do it, like I can't do it. It's just like she'll pull your slack because she love you. Like she will do it. Like I seen it a million times over. Like women be carrying dudes, be literally actually like having another son. You know what I'm saying? In the relationship, like they have a new baby for so long. But you just gotta understand something. That woman's mind is being worked so tough. Her body, it's like everything starts to break down after a while. You putting her in a position where she's not built for it. She's not built for all that. After a
And
while,
that leads to resentment after a while.
After a while, she tired of you now. Now you getting them questions. You getting them weird questions. She going to different place. What we talking about? Forever. So
Nah,
DeMar, ask that
that's a
question out
good
loud.
question,
Ask
dude.
that question out loud, DeMarcus, so the people know what you said. Ask that question.
Uh, I was going to, I asked the guys, so what happened to, and these are marriage vows, but what happened to, for sickness and health, for rich or poor? Because the scenarios that y'all just brought about, if that was flipped, the man still loved, the man pick up the pieces, the man, I mean, it doesn't change. It's like, hey, my wife going through a hard time. She done went through a depression, whatever. I'm gonna try to get her the help, but I gotta keep the family going. I gotta keep this going. It's not no, oh well, I gotta go find something else, or the love ain't there no more because you're not. I mean, you love the person for who they are, for letting you be who you are, the compatibility or whatnot, and that's a condition. Like I feel like what Nate and Kerry were talking about, that's a condition. Like, okay, this is a condition that we're going through. We'll go through it together to get back straight or aligned. But unconditional love shouldn't change because to me, I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. Shouldn't
You
change.
are. I think you are. I think you are. I think that if you love your significant other, though, either way, whether it be male to the female, female to the male, you try not to put your significant other in situations where, it could strain y'all significantly. Like there's certain things that are just hard to deal with, and you don't want to see your loved one go through that. Like you love this woman, you don't want to see her have to carry the team like that for too long. You're gonna be working your butt off to try to figure out a way to get back in the position where you was at, so she can feel, because that'll be like that, man. Like, okay, we in it together. Now we in that fight together versus me fighting it alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't just because you love me. Girl, I thought you said you love me. You sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying? She like walking by you every day, like, man, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want, you
See,
know what I'm
that's
trying to say.
kind of
Like, you don't want her
more
walking
what I'm thinking about, like what Carrie is saying. Like, I think that's kind of what comes to my mind when I think unconditional love is asking to not do anything, asking to really not be worth anything and still get love, which maybe your mama love you. I don't know. Like that's really all I can say for it on that. Because answering that question of what happened to in sickness and health, all of the marriage vows, I think it sounds good. I think you should definitely believe in those things and you should go into a marriage and a relationship with those things in mind as your foundation. It's just that it sounds good until it really happens, right? Because we see a lot of people who go through that and it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
It's a ton of people who get divorced, right? What'd you say?
I said, you contradicting yourself there. Well, a vow is like a
It's
statement.
words.
I mean,
It is words. It's good. A lot of people think it sounds good until your feet really get to that fire, bro. It really does sound. It sounds like, man, I said I love this person. I'm gonna be with them. It don't matter if you get sick, you down bad, whatever. It happens though, where there are people who go out and they get to that kind of situation and things changes for them. Maybe that situation was too hard for them. Maybe without saying the name, I have a client right now who is actually the exact opposite. So I'm not saying it can't happen, right? I'm not saying that no one can kind of go through something like that. I have a client whose husband has been on hospice for, I think she said like 3 or 4 years, something like that. Like he's sick, he's not gonna make it, and she's prepared for that. But she's still there as a wife. She's still taking care of him and doing a lot of things. But there are also people who have that kind of issue come up and they check out. They're not really there anymore. I don't think that's unconditional love. So it's not that it can't happen. It's probably pretty rare. It's something you can hope for, but your love is generally tied to. I will say this: if you can love somebody unconditionally, I think that's just a good example of the kind of person that you are. If you truly have that kind of love in you, and you can always give that. It's a wonderful thing. Absolutely, it's a great thing, right? But the question of, do men get unconditional love? Probably not. Most people want something from a guy. I would say, to pick the answers out of the original question or the original quote, women, dogs, and children, I would say it's dogs and children for the most part, right? And we can't even always say it's kids. Like, it's kids who go through a lot of crazy stuff. It's not even dogs. Dogs get left out in the cold, get abused, animals. Yeah, but for real though,
Real talk.
that's not always unconditional love. It's, I loved you until you did something that made me upset. I loved you until I felt that I had enough, right? So it kind of goes back and forth, but I think that's kind of a personal thing, is probably the real answer. You can find people who exhibit unconditional love, but for a lot
Men
of people, I don't know.
men probably get the least percentage. I would say, like out of all those things, men probably get the lowest percentage of unconditional love. Because the thing I'm saying is, because even at the start of a relationship, let's just come on, think about this.
I can't agree.
I don't hold on. I don't ask a woman where she. I don't even think about where a woman working, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, but I feel like first time you talk to a female, you better become. You better have a polo horse on your. I mean, you better be looking nice. Oh God, oh, he might be a. I feel like they have that. Oh, he might be a. I don't know, teacher. Oh, he might be a doc. I don't ever say, oh damn, she might.
I got a question. I got a question for you,
You
J.Jones.
just call every woman that watches this
I'm sorry,
a gold digger. And
not
Nate,
every woman.
Wait.
okay,
I got a question.
Nate, which one? What box is Nate in? I don't want you loving me, okay?
I didn't say that's me,
Oh, wait.
though. I'm not saying that's fully me, but look, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
I don't know the depths of my love. That's the honesty that I'm gonna give. I would like to believe that my love can be unconditional, but I also know that there are people who no longer have access to my love. So I know it's not unconditional. I know it's simple as that. I know
J.
that.
Jones.
I've
J.
read that.
Jones. No, wait. I gotta ask this question. J. Jones, because he said this. I got a question. I want to know, and I can ask you too, DeMarcus. But you married already, right? Ain't you married?
No,
Not married.
Oh, you ain't married. All right. So look, you got a young lady who you've been seeing, right? For months, maybe about 7 to 8 months. Y'all done dropped the L bombs on each other, right? Y'all in love. This is the woman of your dreams, right? Your partner comes up to you one day, right? He like, hey, it's me, J. Jones. I hit you up on the phone. I'm like, bro, like, she got X amount of bodies. And I know because my partner told me. Do you love her unconditionally still? Are you still on the same wave? And it's like, okay, we good. You never get nothing else changes with that situation.
Let me
Whatever
up what you
person.
just said, Kerry. It's not that she got X amount of bodies. I got the video.
Ooh,
Oh,
I got the video too.
I was about to say the X
I
amount of
got the
bodies.
video.
Yeah, I was about to
Send
say.
it now, but you my
Okay,
dog.
okay.
So
Yeah. I was about to say, you tell me that. I'm gonna say, hey, don't tell me that.
okay.
The video thing, that's tough.
And look, bro, this is the thing. Everybody got a pass, you know.
Everybody got a
So I just think we gotta get away from the absolutes with the whole unconditional love. It's hard to find
Yeah.
unconditional love, bro. It's like marriage in America is a partnership. It's a partnership. It's business. Like here, it's
It
business.
really is.
You get
And
married.
that's what I'm saying. Look. Hold on. Let me talk. Let me
You
get
know,
this straight, DeMarcus. I wasn't calling every female that. I said a lot. It's some great girls out there that do like slim, about you know, that just date anybody, not just anybody, but they don't ask what kind of job you have or nothing. I'm not saying every woman. This wasn't absolute. I'm saying I know a lot of girls. I talk to, you know, I have a lot of friends. They're like, he ain't doing enough. That's what I was saying.
Gerald, you look to the heavens when you said it. And Carrie, I don't like none of y'all right now, really. Carrie.
Oh, good. What's up?
What about the other way around?
Okay.
You know, like what if a woman was like, oh, he done been with too many. I mean, I know it's a double standard. You know,
Right.
a woman done been with too many guys. You know,
Okay.
but if a guy done been with too many women, he just experienced.
Yeah, it works for you in some situations.
Mm-hmm.
It works for you. I mean, to be honest, like when I was in my bachelor days, heavy, like I got a girl now, but when I was in my bachelor days, heavy, it was like that worked for me when they knew I was with maybe they friends.
What if they got a video with your shoulders out? You know, I'm just saying. Like,
It might look, but look, double standard. I hate to say this, but they might want to watch it. No, it sucks, but they might be like, it's weird because I don't like you said. If you call me with that information, I'd be like, bro, just don't. Hey, leave that alone. A single woman might be like, girl, let me see that.
It really is
I
a double
mean,
standard, man. That double
it's a
standard
double standard.
is crazy because it's like it's marketing for the guy.
Right.
It's like, oh, like wow, that's like an iPhone. Everybody wants one. But then it's like, oh, you got that at the 99-cent business. So it's not right. Like, right. And so definitely I'm not saying that it's right.
Right.
I'm acknowledging that there's a double standard.
But that drops a bomb on what you just talking about, Mr. Lift and Go. Because you can't say that they don't catch the shaft on that deal, because that's rough. That's rough right there. They
The
can't
thing is, do you really
catch the shaft
do you ask that question? Or all right, if your homie if your homie don't tell you that, you don't know that. I don't
No,
even.
that's a high school question to ask. You should never ask that
Yeah,
question because you really can't
yeah. I
handle
don't
the
ask
answer.
that.
Hey, how many?
Yeah, like
You really ain't gonna be able to handle the answer, bro. Because honestly, it's like when you ask something like that, you have a number in your head that you think is okay. It's probably a 9 out of 10 chance that she go triple that number on you. Like,
hey, J.
and it
Cole
might not even
said
be true.
you gotta multiply by 3. J. Cole said she only about 4, 5. You gotta multiply by 3. Like,
so that's factual
right?
now. That's factual.
But look, not even that it's factual, right? Because just because you never know, that's the real thing. You never know. And I saw a girl tweet this a couple of weeks ago. A dude asked me that. I'm gonna reply with all of them, with every single one that I ever met, just because I'm gonna screw with your head. Because if we're talking about unconditional love, what does it actually matter? Or is your condition to even kind of get this person value based on, well, they meet my criteria of not being a hoe or whatever it is, right? It's, it's really a condition that everybody is setting individually.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if you had gotten to a point to where I mean, like, you got this special feeling, you want to create families, you think about future. Like, does that really
Matter.
cross to where it's like, I done got this new information about you? They got people that have, you know, diseases that they can't get rid of. You know, what about when they tell that, like, hey, we in love, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you, but I just gotta let you know I have this, and I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life.
It's just the
That
odds.
changes stuff.
The odds are against you. The odds are against you.
that's tough.
It changes a lot because
But
using
say,
sickness, right? Not even something sexually transmitted. Are you willingly getting into a relationship with somebody who has terminal cancer? They're in what, stage 3, stage 4 cancer, and they know, okay, I have a year. Doctor said year and a half, 2 years. Y'all been dating. You've known the person for a little while. Y'all started dating. Okay, how far do you really want to go with that, knowing that you have a cap on it?
but hold on now, Nate. Like you take away an experience in your life that you can probably never recreate. Why would you put a cap on it because somebody like if you get to the point to where you love somebody, I'm not talking about just every relationship. I'm talking you get to the point where you love somebody, they divulge this information like I've never told anybody this or nobody knows this about me. You just gonna be like, you only got a year to live. Well, I got about 30 days. That's pretty
Well,
like Nate.
it's
Nate,
it's it's
Nate,
not, again,
Nate,
I'm not saying this is the right thing to
Nate,
do.
Nate. I don't want you loving me, okay? Don't ever make you love me.
Unconditionally, you got my love forever, bro. But like seriously though, I think it's just something that you kind of have to consider. Like it's a lot of different things that change how you view a person, right? So using that example of somebody coming to give you information about the past, what if that changes the way that you see this person? What if now you are judging I mean, you're judging past, and that's kind of hard to do because that doesn't acknowledge who they are in the future or who they are in the present anyways. But if you look back and say, man, you was really out there doing crack. Like you really said crack is the way to go about your life. At some point, you was really making some crazy decisions. And I just don't know if I fully trust the person that you are. That's
Wait, what's
always
got to
going
do
to
with
be a
crack though,
condition
Nate?
because I just wanted to change it, right? I wanted to give it something different.
You turned it up.
If I know you was out there, you was a kleptomaniac back in the day. You
Yeah,
just stole all the time. Like I kind of view you differently now.
it's
You
changed
might be
everything.
good
It's
now,
changed everything.
but it's like because the reality I think is us as people when we start looking at like tendencies, habits, and like past who you were, there's always a chance that comes back. There's always a chance for relapse, right?
Yeah.
So now if I know like, oh, man, like you was really out there crazy, you everybody got a story, right? I was out here crazy because of X, Y, and Z. So if X, Y, or Z ever comes up again in your life,
You roll it right
there's a chance that you might go back to being out there crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's just go with. I'm gonna go with this. Nate, I agree. It's the condition. It's the condition on love, man. I hate to say it.
I really believe that.
It's a lot of different kinds of love, anyways. That's where we should have started. Is what kind of love are we talking about? It's like what three kinds of love: agape, eros, and I never remember the third one.
Agape
But
is all love. Agape means all
all
love,
love,
right?
right? But
Yeah,
that's a godly, like
yeah.
all kind of all encompassing love. So if that's what we're looking for,
And
maybe
even the
because really love is an action, right? Like showing you love. We going through all of this right now. I might not know my neighbor. I really don't know most of my neighbors. I should meet some. But love, to me, an example of love, I literally don't know this lady's name across the street. They got a 2-month-old baby. I have a gas fireplace. They don't. I said, look, y'all can come over here, get the baby warm, do what y'all got to do if you need to. To me, that's an example of love, right? It's unconditional. It is conditional because I probably would have never said anything on another day just because you didn't need to. But in this condition, I don't know you. I'm not holding it against you. I just want to invite you to get the help that you need. So, is
what
what
if
kind of love we talking about?
what if you would have seen a tape of them before the heat thing happened? Like would that have changed your mind of letting them into your
You
house?
crazy.
What are they doing on tape?
They could be stealing. I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna probably make me stand by them in the house. It's not gonna let them have free access. If I find out that these are some kind of crazy people, I'm gonna handle it a little bit differently.
But to take it back
Uh,
to love between a man and a woman in a romantic fashion, to stay in that category, uh, and you said agape love, like all love, like it encompasses all love, and just like in
is this
the
real quick?
Bible,
Real quick, I was about to. Yeah, you about to? Are you referencing Christianity, the religion with the
no,
different types of love in the
I was
Bible?
just gonna say, I was just gonna take a little out of the Bible, and it's in
Go ahead.
basically all religions, but where it says,
Hi, D-Max. How can I help?
What kind of love is that? What kind of love we got going on over there, D-Lux? What's the real?
Not just in church or whatever, but that love covers a multitude. I know Nate knows this, but love covers a multitude of sins. So how would you convert that into the relationship between basically a man and a woman? Like kind of with the scenarios that we're talking about, like if you were to take that to heart, like my love will cover a multitude of sins. So how would you translate that?
Till death do us part. To me, and this, I'm gonna add to this real quick because I think we kind of getting into a foxhole, and I just really feel this way because that when you talk about unconditional love, it is unconditional. That's it. Like there's no more to that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I guess the point I was making when I brought it up is that if you want to find out if somebody's love is unconditional or not, and you're gonna press them, you know what I mean, and really like, just like be like, okay, well, you're gonna show me if you love me or not, then I feel like there's about 8 times out of 10, you're gonna find out they probably don't love you that much. If you really press them. If you really, really press them, you're gonna have, because there's really one person we should be committing ourselves to for the rest of our life out here in this world. And, if you've chosen that person, you want to believe that person is your person, you got them now, and you can hold on to them for as long as you can until you gone, but if you want to put that person under the fire, hey, I don't know too many people that's gonna sit there with them coals on their feet like that. They go, they're gonna start just take off running. It's pressure, bro. You're gonna put a pressure on them. Like it's, that people pressure bust pipes. It bust pipes or make diamonds.
Let's not talk about busting pipes right now.
Sensitive subjects.
Nah,
but so where did he go? But what he was saying,
yeah,
that kind of love is by the term over here is called stores. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but that kind of love is God. Like admittedly, this one is love of parents for children. So yeah, you go in there, you break something, your mama been taking care of you, didn't tell your daughter stop, don't go get in trouble at school, don't do this, she didn't take the chicken out the refrigerator, she don't listen, none of that, right? That's still your baby and you love her. Like, right? That's what that is. You can look past the wrongdoing because maybe I just love you that much. And that's why I think it's kind of parent and child. There's a connection that's basically yourself, right? In a sense. It's not always like that in a relationship. You can't say just because I love you, I'm gonna look past all of the things that you do. You talk to me crazy, you beat me, you cheat on me, you whatever it is, the general relationship sins. I'm not gonna really look past that just to say I love you. Because on the other side, if you're committing these sins, do you love me? Right? To me, that would be my first question. How do you commit that many sins if you actually love the person? I mean, even using the kid reference again, at some point you grow up as a child and be like, oh man, let me stop doing that because look at what it's doing to my mama. Let me not break my mama's stuff in her house again so she ain't got to pay for this and that. So
there it is.
It's there. You're not gonna let the person you love strain like that. You can't take it. Like you love that person. You're not gonna do that to them. You are going to pick up your end of the deal. Like you have this mutual gifting. That's like a main principle. I feel like or am I crazy?
No, I think that
I
is.
agree.
I mean,
I agree.
DeMarcus like, nah, it don't matter. I mean,
No. I don't know if Karen knows. I know Nate and Gerald know. Like, we know a guy that like loves his parents to death. Every time he gets in trouble, he's gonna go back to his parents, but show the love. Like he hurt his mama, he hurt his daddy. Like
so using that very same example, what kind of love do you really have when you keep sinning that much? Using that specific example, who we know we talking about, when you sin that many times, and it's the same sin, it's not that you keep figuring out a new way to do it. You keep doing the same thing. You can't really tell me you love me.
Period. Done with that.
Let's go to the
Yeah. So we don't never get nowhere.
yeah. Before we go to the next one, I still don't want to make love to me, but go ahead.
So look, we got one more thing I want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about living to potential? Y'all want to talk about the acceptance of failure or sexual discipline?
Well, I thought we had. I thought we was gonna get on the. I thought we was gonna get on the mental health. No.
Or we can talk about the you or
Any of those, man.
We gonna be out here all night. We gonna be here all night talking about all this.
All right, we're gonna talk about mental health, having outlets.
Okay.
And
Healthy outlets.
We've touched on this before, but I don't know if we've done it with Nate. I know we touched on this before, but it's I hopefully people really dig into their self and understand that we pack in a lot. So to have an outlet is to draw just like a regular outlet. Either it's to draw power away from or to give power to. And I believe Nate probably can talk better on this than I can, but you're not built to do it all by yourself. Just, I'll start there. You're not built to do this life, this journey all by yourself.
That's true. With that, like one of my first things is really something else I want to say about it. But with saying you're not built to do it by yourself, that was one of the first things I wrote down about this topic was actually be a homie, bro. Like if we say we homies, we say we friends, that's my brother, this and that. Be that. Like that's really where it starts at, right? Go check on your homies, talk to your homies, see what's really going on. And it's important, like, especially when you see somebody deal with something, whether they come to you fully and like tell you everything that they're dealing with, if you see it, just acknowledge it, bro. Like acknowledge it, just check on them, make sure they're doing okay. And I'm gonna segue it into talking more about an individual situation, but I think one that applies to a lot of people. I actually had a friend, I'll tell you about this later, Jarrell, because you know who it is. But close enough friend, just I don't know, I don't even know what to call it, mental breakdown, something like that. But they had that kind of come into Jesus moment where they realized, hey, I really need to go and figure out some different things to do, right? So talking about having a healthy outlet, what did you say? It's either to give power to or to take away from.
Mm-hmm.
All of the outlets this dude had was taking away from his ability to be a better person, was taken away from his ability to kind of move past some things and to grow. And it finally got to a point where he had to figure out, like, okay, what I'm doing is really not healthy, right? So instead of letting yourself get to that point, my biggest thing is acknowledge, right? Acknowledge one that you can't do everything by yourself, like you just said, but acknowledge that there are things that you have to do in order to change the situation that you're in, right? So you have to process through all of your problems that you're going through, process the emotions, process the mental stress that you're going through, and then come out on the other side of it. So have a way to, when we were talking about this in our group text, we were talking about a few different things, right? So I would say working out is always the general. That's kind of where we start with a lot of stress things, working out, meditation. Just go and do something that you actually enjoy. Do something that brings you peace is always kind of my first thought about it. But the healthy side of it is what you're doing actually helping you process through. One of the things that was brought up, we talked about, was going to the gun range, right? Maybe that's the way to get your anger out. But also, like, just what we were talking about that day, that's still technically a violent outlet. You going to do target practice, you getting ready to ultimately kill, right? That's really what if you go all the way there with it. I'm practicing to become the best shot that I can. And now, if I ever have a real moment of mental uncertainty where I kind of snap out, I'm almost a trained shooter, right? Because I've been doing this for so long. So it's not necessarily healthy. It's an outlet. I think, everybody can use it the way that they need to use it. But whatever your outlet is, find something, find people to talk to, and do something that kind of gives back to you. I think I've said it before. You can't pour out of an empty cup, right? So find something that's going to fill your cup back up. Find a way to rejuvenate yourself.
Yeah. And with Nate, kind of what you're saying, I work with people in the mental health field, and the first thing I do usually is we brainstorm 10. If they can get to 10, I try to get them to brainstorm 10 hobbies, healthy hobbies. So that's kind of what you're saying. I sit down and we just sit down and I'm like, hey, what do you like to do? What makes you feel good? And if they can get to 3 in that 1 hour that I'm with them, I'm like, hey, tonight sit by yourself and like quiet and think. And by the time next time I see you, I say 10, but if they can only get to 8, I'm cool with that. And most people didn't even know they had like it's like, man, I I used to do that and it made me feel good, but I haven't thought about it in so long. So that is true. Find
Yeah,
things that make you
meditation.
feel good. Yeah. Like,
Meditation. Oh, let me back up. Meditation is key that we don't explore. We don't explore meditation. Meditation helps with peace. Meditation helps with focus, and it also calms your energies, your body, your heart rate. It calms all that down, so it's healthy in that sense. So we don't take the time out to even meditate. Really, like meditation
Seriously.
is a big key to just health in general.
15 minutes a day will change you, man. Honestly, it really will. Like that's definitely one thing. Credit to the woman over there. She when she started doing meditation, like seriously, man, it's probably been getting close to a year at this point. And we might not do it like every night, but at least 3, 4 nights out the week, she throws on a meditation track. I'm probably sleep like 8 minutes in, but that's how I know that it works. Right? Like seriously. I
Speaks.
remember the first time she put it on, I woke up the next day, was like, man, what happened? Like, how did I even go to sleep so fast? But just hearing that, having those kind of positive thoughts, the taking the time to relax, to kind of let go of what you're going through, that helps. Like 5, 10 minutes, man. That'll really help you.
I think what I like about meditation so much is it makes you focus on breathing. I think a lot of times we don't
Hmm.
really focus on breathing and how we breathe because breathing actually they say like sitting there for like 15 minutes of deep breathing, it actually makes you more intelligent. It makes you more, just more of a holistic. It makes you more within your own skin to be able to just kind of just observe your around surroundings from a calmer place, and it kind of calms your mind and quiets those thoughts that we have. And another thing too, just talking about the mental health piece, as the big thing I wanted to touch on is just like we have to get away from being above things, like being above charity work, right? Being
Hmm.
above mundane tasks, like just little things, because when you can get down on the ground level with the people around you, it actually improves your mental health dramatically. Like that's something that they always talk about, is just random acts of kindness, like just doing something like buying somebody coffee, the pay it forward type deal, like anything that can just elevate the atmosphere you in, because those vibrations, when you meet somebody else doing the same things, it doubles. You know what I'm saying? And when you meet somebody with low vibrations, it cancels it out. So you know what I'm saying, you can just move around past that, and you don't have to I guess, keep that low frequency you got going on mentally. If you get to
That's real.
yeah, if you're getting down on yourself, you really need to just kind of do little random acts of kindness just to kind of get yourself back to where you need to be. Like that's that kind of how do you put it? I guess it's the buffer. It gives you buffer time. Like if you're really going through it, just go start doing nice stuff. Just go start
That's
helping
it.
people out.
It's cool when
That's
you say
that's
the
part of
vibration that you on, right? Because if you can do something nice for a person that you don't even know you had no reason to, you know that that's just in you, right? Like you're not getting nothing out of that. Okay, I am a good person. Sometimes you need that kind of reminder. Sometimes you need just the feeling of literally doing something nice, right? So that's definitely one to build on.
it's unconditional.
oh my God.
It,
And
But,
that's
but that's what I'm saying. But listen.
uh-oh.
I,
Uh-oh.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's a blessing to know that there's people that really do feel like unconditional love is real. And because I feel the same way. And I think we all here because we all feel like unconditional love is real. Because just across the He do. He got his lady. I'm sure
I
he got
feel
some-
like unconditional love is real. I
Yeah.
just feel like it's rare.
But you don't want to put it to the test, man. Cause philosophy, principles, you got a lot of data, DeMarcus, that goes against what unconditional love is. There's a lot of data. If you want to talk about numbers in this world, that goes against it. It goes against God as well. But as believers in something, you believe, like you just believe it, and that's it. And that's the foundation of your life. But just understand, so statistically, that's not gonna be all over the place. Like you can't just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, if I put somebody," like you can't do that, bro.
Pressure.
You can't.
That pressure.
Bust that pipe. It's gonna bust it, or you gonna find out, oh, this really is a diamond, but you done put it through so much. Like,
Yeah, that you shattered it to 1,000 pieces. Still.
you done got it looking like a man. You gotta fix it up. That's baby though. But hey, we done tapped in for a little minute. Go ahead. What you got, brother?
I don't agree with any of these guys.
Man, look, man. This is we just be keeping it real, bro.
That's because you wearing an Adidas hoodie and we wearing Nike.
Oh,
Yeah.
But, hey, it's been a pleasure, brothers, and I always appreciate it. I think we was really on one. I know one thing, man.
Who's on one?
Love is real though.
Love is real, unconditional.
Love is real. Love is the action.
Nate, you
Whether conditionally or unconditionally, love people. Each one love one.
Hey, straight up.
ELE. Everybody love everybody.
I like that. That was quick. ELE, that's the name of the podcast. But y'all be safe. Hey, we out.